What's goody? Hey man, so I don't know if y'all were watching yesterday, but trust me, I was. And the NFL is such an interesting league, and like the games yesterday were so interesting. There was so much to take away. I'm going to start off with the first game. The Eagles blew out the Commanders, put up like 55 points on their head. Saquon Barkley's the best running back in the league. I'm pretty sure I picked him for Offensive Player of the Year before the season began. That pick was great because he definitely should win it, even though I'm not sure he's going to win it. He definitely had an Offensive Player of the Year, even MVP level season. The man was phenomenal this year. The man has been phenomenal the entire season. He was phenomenal in that game yesterday, bro. That boy went out there and he absolutely cooked against the Commanders. I think he had like 3 rushing touchdowns literally on the first play where the Eagles had the ball. The man had a 60-yard rushing touchdown, and then the next time they had the ball, he got a 4-yard rushing touchdown. In the first quarter, through the first two, I don't know if it was the first 2 plays the Eagles ran or just the first 2 rushes they ran, but the first 2 times Saquon Barkley got the ball yesterday, touchdown both times. His stat line for a little bit was 2 rushes, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. The man is disgusting. Jalen Hurts, people are talking about how he's been getting carried and everything by the roster, and maybe he has a little bit, but let me tell you, he played well yesterday for the most part. He and Saquon did a great thing on the ground. I think they combined for, what was it, 7 rushing touchdowns, or like the team combined for like 7 rushing touchdowns. It was something like that. That was disgusting. The Eagles are a good team. They're going to the Super Bowl. We have an Eagles-Chiefs rematch from a few years ago. I think it'll be a good rematch. The result I could see being different, but I'm not predicting that it'll be different. And then is there anything else that I really take away from that game? Jayden Daniels, great season. You were ready for the moment. Your team wasn't necessarily ready for the moment. Terry McLaurin had a good game for you and everything like that. He had that one really good touchdown. You did your best. Your defense led up 55 points. There's not too much you can do. The rest of your team wasn't great, but you did your job. I'm proud of you, Jayden. Oh, wow. Yeah, Jayden Daniels. And, congrats to you on a great rookie season. I hope you can build off of it for the rest of your career. Now, let's go on to the night game because this is the game that everyone's talking about. This is the game that everyone cared about. This is the game, the Bills versus the Chiefs. It's a rivalry. It's even more of a rivalry than the Eagles and the Commanders. And the Eagles and the Commanders are literally in the same division. Like, that's how crazy this one was. They've met in like 4 of the last 5 years in the playoffs. And now, after last night, Josh Allen has been sent home 4 of the last 5 years by Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. It's been absolutely diabolical work. It's literally, I saw somebody on Twitter, I don't know if it was last night or this morning, but I saw somebody say something, what Patrick Mahomes is doing to Josh Allen in Buffalo might be worse than LeBronto. I am a Toronto Raptors fan. I remember in high school and in middle school what it was like when my homies was texting me talking about some LeBronto blah, 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 blah. I remember what that was like. So for this to even be getting compared to that is insane, nasty work. It was a really good game, as it always is. I think Josh Allen played pretty well. I mean, he had a fumble and everything like that, but he recovered that fumble. There were some controversial calls, and let me tell you something. The one that I want to get out of the way first, that 4th and 1 where Josh Allen and them go for that tush push and they don't get it, they refs review it and everything like that. The call on the field was not that they got was not a first down, and then the review came back, it wasn't a first down. You got people talking about Tony Romo and Jim and Gene Steratore and all of them. They all agree that he got the line to gain. I've watched this play a million times, and even in real time, I'll tell you exactly what I thought. You can ask my girlfriend who was sitting right there next to me. I didn't think they got the first down. And I haven't seen anything that is definitive enough for me to be like, oh, they 100% got it. The refs are 100% tripping. The refs 100% saw enough to where they should have overturned that call. I can't make that. And I'm not saying he didn't get it. I'm saying I don't think he got it. And if he did get it, that's great for him. But let me tell you, there is no angle that I've seen that is definitive enough proof in that moment to overturn that call. Now, for people who are mad, for people who are pissed off, I absolutely get it. It seems like whenever the Chiefs need a call to go their way, then guess what? The call's going their way. It seems like that every single time anything happens with the Chiefs. That's why people think it's rigged and everything like that. Here's what I'll tell you. First of all, if you're Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, if you are running the tush push with a 6'5 quarterback, and I think it's the biggest offensive line in football, if not, it's one of the biggest offensive lines in football, and you can't get that 1 yard when you need it, and they had been spamming it throughout the game, but when you absolutely needed it most, you couldn't get that 1 yard, you don't deserve to be in the Super Bowl. I'm going to say that right off the rip. Second of all, if the refs didn't see enough, and to me, like I said, there was not an angle where it was enough for it to overturn, they can't overturn it because the ruling on the field was that they didn't get it. So if they don't see anything where they can overturn it, they're not just going to overturn it for no reason. But the one call that I will sympathize with Buffalo Bills fans about is the Xavier Worthy catch. That was not a catch. I do not believe there is any universe in which that's a catch. I understand the ball hit the ground and the ball didn't really move too much after hitting the ground the way it did with like the Des Bryant catch and everything like that. That was not a catch. That ball hit too much of the ground. His hand wasn't like underneath it, protecting it from the ground. It wasn't like it was in his arm and like a little bit of the bottom of the ball hit the ground, but he didn't move at all. It wasn't like that. That man did not have possession of that ball. You could no, I would argue nobody had possession of that ball. That was not a catch. I completely agree. I completely sympathize with you there. I do not believe that was a catch. That was a huge call. That was a huge moment. And yes, it does seem like the Chiefs are always getting the call they need when they need it the most, right? Please, I'm reaching down for my phone. Please don't get me wrong or anything like that. But here's what else I'll say. The way that the game yesterday was officiated against the Chiefs and the Bills was better than the way it was against the Texans. That's better than the way it's been for a lot of Chiefs games that I've watched. If you're complaining about the officiating of that game, you're just complaining for no reason. That one call, I completely agree. Xavier Worthy did not catch it, but the other one, that's really a coin toss, and if you disagree, I think you're kind of tripping. And but if you watch that Texas game, if you've seen other Chiefs games, there are games where it genuinely seems like the Chiefs, it's rigged for them. There are games where it genuinely seems like they are getting every call, every time, every single thing they need. But another thing that happened in this game, do you guys remember when I think it was on like 4th and 5, something like that, Steve Spagnuolo sends this 6-man blitz. I think it was a 5 or 6-man blitz, but he sends it in like an unconventional way where Trent McDuffie's the one blitzing, and Josh Allen had already slid his protection the other way and everything like that. The blitz gets home. Josh Allen evades it. He doesn't get sacked. He rolls out right. He throws a ball like up just randomly in the air. It looked random at the time, but then if you see the other angles of it, Mr. Dalton Kincaid, the second-year man, the man that was on my fantasy team, he's a second-year player I don't remember where he's out of, but he's a second-year player. Josh Allen throws this ball while being ran down by 3 Chiefs players. He's being chased by 3 Chiefs players. He throws this ball. It looks like a prayer. It looks like a random ball. It looks like one of those things where it's like, oh, this is a pick 100%. Why'd you throw it? And in the angle at the game, during the game, like the angle that the TV showed on the national broadcast on Paramount Plus or whatever, I'm thinking, it was maybe catchable, but it definitely wasn't a drop. And then I see a different angle of it. Oh, it was a drop. The refs didn't make Dalton Kincaid drop that ball. The Chiefs didn't make Dalton Kincaid drop that ball. The same way the Ravens or the refs or Lamar or whoever else didn't make Mark Andrews drop that ball the week before against Buffalo. Oh, nobody made Dalton Kincaid drop that ball. Nobody told him to sell. Nobody said that y'all couldn't definitively get that 1 yard when you needed it the most after you had been spamming that play and you had been using Josh Allen's legs and all this and all that. When you needed it the most, you couldn't do it well. Nobody said you had to do that. Nobody said you had to stop giving James Cook the ball, even though James Cook was cooking the entire game. He was literally destroying the Chiefs the entire game. Nobody said you had to stop giving him the ball. So while that one call against Xavier Worthy was a bad one, and while the other one was even controversial, is the max I'm willing to put on it, the Bills had opportunities to win this game. The Chiefs were up 2 possessions and got the ball after halftime. And they didn't score. The Bills scored, and then the Bills were going to take the lead on the next possession. You had opportunities after that to close the game out, to build the lead again after the Chiefs went down there and got a lead the whole next drive and everything like that. The Chiefs went down there. I think that was the time when they had a 90. No, it was to start the game when they had the 90-yard drive. No, I'm tripping. But the Chiefs let you get the lead back after they were up 2 possessions coming out of half with the ball. And you still couldn't close them out. Don't sit here and tell me that you lost for that reason. No, buddy, you lost for a few reasons. And I'm sorry to tell you that. All right? Now, listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for everything, man. Thank you for watching. Let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know if y'all think that I'm tripping. Let me know if y'all think that my opinions are valid. Or let me know if you're somewhere in between. But yeah, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm interested to know what y'all thought about that game. And even the Eagles game. And I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I want to know how excited y'all are for the Super Bowl. Because I've been seeing people are getting a lot of hate. This is like, oh, the worst case scenario. And maybe it is. I don't think it is, but whatever. A Super Bowl's a Super Bowl. They only come once a year, so I'm going to enjoy the game, and I think it will be a close game, and I think it'll be a fun game to watch, all right? So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you did like the video, if you do like the content I'm putting out, because it helps me out a lot, and I would love the support. And also, leave in the comments what y'all want to see, what other stuff y'all want me to talk about, what other stuff y'all want me to do, all right? I appreciate y'all.